So we actually focused on building a business around a new consumer segment, which is the adult fan of our Mattel brands.
Hey, nice to have you here. Your stage.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. I'm super excited to share with you the story of Mattel Creations. I'm Alexis Hoopes. I lead our e-commerce efforts here at Mattel. And love to be kicking off this e-commerce session of this amazing festival. It's my first time here. I joined Mattel about 3.5 years ago to build our e-commerce business. Prior to Mattel, I was with Nordstrom, which is a leading department store in the United States. And I'm going to give a couple references to the Barbie movie as I go through the presentation. But as I moved from a retailer to a wholesale manufacturer of brands, it was a little bit like that scene in Barbie where she realizes it all looks the same, but it's just slightly different. And so I'm excited to take you on this journey of what we built and how we created our business of Mattel Creations. It's such an incredible experience at Mattel. We have the most amazing brands. And going on this direct-to-consumer journey, it was really an incredible opportunity to bring these brands to life in a new way and really connect directly with our consumer and build a completely new business model. When we started this, each of our brands was on separate platforms, had separate identities, and very few of them were selling direct to the consumer. So we challenged ourselves with this question of, what if we brought all of these amazing brands together under one brand, one umbrella, and one site? What could we do differently, and how might we challenge ourselves to think differently? We decided to call this brand Mattel Creations. It's a nod to the garage where Mattel started and really is a symbol in our company about innovation and transformation. And this idea of bringing everything together was really novel at Mattel. As you know, and some of you work in brands, having that strong brand identity is really critical. And so as we built this idea and put it out there, there was this challenge. Can we do this? Should we be doing this? How do we really create the equity of Mattel Creations with each of our individual brands? And in addition, we had this idea that we wanted to start and launch this site within 6 months. And so that was the big challenge that was put forward. Doing something completely different and innovative and doing it in a very short time frame. For those of you who may not be familiar with the toy industry, it usually takes us about 2 years to come up with the idea of the toy, to design, manufacture. And here we are saying, let's go do something in 6 months that's truly revolutionary. So with every direct-to-consumer business, the first thing that we did, and the most important piece, is getting really clear on who the consumer is. And so some of you attending today might be thinking that when we talk about our direct-to-consumer business at Mattel, we're going to talk about selling toys to kids. But what we challenged ourselves with is, let's do something truly innovative and complementary to our business overall. So we actually focused on building a business around a new consumer segment, which is the adult fan of our Mattel brands. These are people, hopefully like lots of you in the audience, played with our Mattel toys as a child. There's collectors of our toys and really connect with that nostalgia. This opened up a whole new segment of the toy business for us to focus on. Today, in the toys, there's this movement around the kidult as an adult buying for toys. But at the time, 3 years ago when we started this, we were really pioneering and building out this segment. And then we thought, in addition, how do we make collecting and buying toys cool? Because sometimes it's more about the collector who has that stash in their basement. We really wanted to elevate this idea around buying toys as an adult and collecting. And so we focused on a second consumer segment, which are those people who are interested in art, culture, fashion. How might we engage them in a new way and come shop with us for the first time? And then we said, with every retailer, we have the focus on the consumer and then the focus on product. By taking this new and innovative approach, it really allowed us to open up and think about toys in a new way. We challenged ourselves and our designers and our brand teams to think about not just toys as toys, but toys as art. And how might we express art inspired by toys as well? And this opened up a whole new platform for us in connecting with our consumer and offering a different product offering. So the key to every strong retailer is laser focus on who the customer is and a really strong product offering. And so that's how we launched our business. So let's take a look at what we've done. since this idea started 3 years ago. So pretty cool to see going from an idea and challenging what's possible, focusing on new product categories and new consumers, that we're able to create all this. I'll dive in a little bit deeper into our strategy. What makes Mattel Creations unique is it's both a brand for us at Mattel that's all about the ultimate expression of our creativity and creative power, as well as a fully unified retail platform about engaging our consumers. When we talk about our strategy, there's 4 key pillars that we focus on. First and foremost is building the commerce engine. So we started with bringing all of our brands together, creating a whole new technology platform where we could bring something very flexible, showcase each of our brands and our products in a new way, create this elevated look and feel, and really highlight the breadth of our commerce. We're largely a drop-based model. We have a product launch at 9 a.m. in the US, but it launches and it very, very quickly sells out. And so we needed a fast and flexible platform to build our commerce offering around. The second key component of our strategy is content. We knew that this was a great opportunity for us to connect more deeply with each of our consumers. It's not enough just to have products for sale. We want to create a connection and have a reason for our consumers to come back. So one of the things we also built out was our content strategy. We go deep behind the scenes of each of our toys with the designers, the stories that each of our products and brands tell to create that deep connection with our consumer. And we can bring that to life on our site. This put us in a perfect position last year as we had the phenomenon that was the Barbie movie. At this time last year, the movie wasn't out. And now here we are with this very flexible, robust D2C platform, and we thought, what better way to bring it to life? The movie was largely focused on the adult consumer. Mattel Creations is focused on the adult. So we created this full content hub on our site. And really, we didn't know at Mattel what the consumer and what moviegoers were going to respond to. So we put out the toys that we were selling. We had a lot of great partnerships with other brands that we could showcase on our site. And then we had additional content behind the scenes. And what we were able to do is see where the consumer voted, both by clicks and the consumer data, as well as their purchases. And one of the fun stories during this time is we had a doll that we had produced. And we needed to make some last-minute changes so it wouldn't be ready in time for the movie launch. And because we have a direct-to-consumer platform, what we decided to do was put the doll up and make it all pre-order. Because it's different than selling to our retail partners. We don't have to commit to the inventory. We can just produce what the consumer is interested in. The doll went completely viral. I think we had Rosie O'Donnell and all these celebrities saying they wanted to buy the doll. Sales skyrocketed, and we probably sold 10x what we would have sold had we committed and produced the doll. And this just shows the power and the flexibility that we're now able to have as a manufacturer with this direct-to-consumer platform for us. The last piece that's really critical, or the other pillar of our strategy that's really critical, is about building community. This direct-to-consumer business, and for a lot of brands, as you build and think about how to engage with your consumer, you have so many opportunities to reach them through your retail partners. But the benefit of having a brand direct relationship with the consumer is that you can create a sense of community. And this is one of our most important pillars of our strategy. Our goal, obviously, is to drive a big, growing, profitable business for the company overall, but more importantly, it's about creating that sense of community and connection with our consumers. And we do that in a number of different ways. We engage them on designing and developing our product. So up to the right, that's a Monster High doll that we put out to our community and say, can you vote? Do you want this dress or that dress? Do you want this hairstyle or that hairstyle? And they co-create with us what's the ultimate expression of their brand and their fandom, and then we put it for sale for them to buy. We have memberships where consumers can sign up and get insider access, early access to events, all creating this deeper connection of community. And say in retail today, people can shop anywhere, they can buy from a number of different brands, but we all associate with our friends and community. On our site, we have forums where collectors can engage, share stories, share their collections with each other. We really are about building a sense of community so people shop with us, but also shop at our retail partners and with our brands. And then lastly, we have in-person events. We recently had an event in Los Angeles. There's a picture of it here, where we partnered with an artist to develop a Hot Wheels. And we had an event in Los Angeles. We came in early in the morning, and people were lined up around the block, starting at 3 a.m. And what was so cool about this event is that it engaged deep collectors of Hot Wheels, so people with all of their Hot Wheels showing up, as well as the art, culture, kind of sneakerhead. And they're all standing in line, sharing stories, talking about the art, talking about Hot Wheels, and just creating this sense of true community. The final pillar of our strategy is culture. We need to be relevant, and brands today certainly need to be relevant in culture to continue to engage the audience. We do this through collaborations. A lot of what we do is about finding artists, influencers, musicians, fashion houses to co-create product with us to really stay at the forefront of culture. We recently had a partnership with Cartel in Italy. You can see those Barbie-sized iconic Cartel chairs in Barbie pink. This is just another expression of our brands and the culture connection. We want to be deep in each of the cultures, connected to the design community to keep us relevant. So we do this through in-person events. We also do this through a number of the brands and drops that we have. So those are the 4 pillars of our strategy: focusing on the commerce element, having deep, engaging content, creating a sense of community, and staying relevant in culture. Now, one of the things about building a direct-to-consumer business in a wholesale manufacturer is that we are truly on the forefront of transformation. So Mattel Creations, while small relative to the total, the company is using this as an innovation engine. So as we built this journey and built our D2C business, we started with a technology transformation. We re-platformed our whole site, and then we built the technology and tools around that had never been created before in the company. From there, we moved on to marketing transformation. So as you can imagine, with most of your sales be done at your retail partners, you don't have that first-party data that those of us who work in retail are so used to. You want to know who your consumer is and what they're engaging with. So we built out an entirely new technology stack to capture that data, and then we can apply that to the rest of the organization through our marketing transformation. And lastly, we're on a supply chain transformation. A direct-to-consumer business where you're sending out individual packages is so different than what we do at the rest of the company. We had to build, as we scaled rapidly, we had to transform our supply chain. And so taking these innovative models in well-established companies is hard and challenging. You're challenging the status quo, but it leads to these new avenues of growth and transformation that can then influence the rest of the organization. And similar to the Barbie movie reference, you can't do this without the help of your friends. A key to this has been having really great partners and vendors that we work with and can help challenge us and drive us to new innovation. A great example of this is our partnership that we've had with Shopify. We had a conversation with them right before the movie launched, and they shared that they had a new technology where we could connect to different Shopify stores and list product on our site. Again, we didn't know what would resonate with the consumer. we did see the world was a sea of pink. We had so much partnership out there. We wanted to list those products on our site, but we didn't want to buy the inventory. So we were able to, within 2 weeks, connect to partner Shopify stores, list the product on our site, and then really showcase the full franchise of what we were doing with the Barbie movie. And able to do that in 2 weeks is unheard of unless you have this fast, flexible technology stack. So kind of bringing these things all together, the focus on commerce, content, culture, community. A great example that we just recently did on Mattel Creations that brought this all to life is that we were able to host a 2-day virtual event on our site where our brands each came, unveiled new products, showcased the designers behind the scenes of each of the products. We even went into the Mattel offices where people showed their desks, really creating that sense of connection between what we're selling, our consumers, and the people behind the brands and the design. And this was an incredible event. We were able to live stream it on our platform. We engaged almost the entire company, 14 different brands. We had 90 different products for sale, all live in this wonderful event and expression of what Mattel Creations is. We had over 100,000 people tune in live to watch, which is just incredible. The middle of the day, we're a brand selling product, and we had 100,000 people stop what they're doing in the middle of the day to tune in live. And it just shows the power when you can link content and commerce and community together and bring it all to life in new ways. So I started the presentation with talking about the power of the brands at Mattel. We have one of the best portfolio of well-known brands in the industry. What's exciting to share is that now we have another brand that we've added to this. Mattel Creations is now the 5th largest brand at Mattel. It's one of our fastest growing brands, and we're super excited to be able to link the value and focus on the consumer, pushing for innovation, challenging what's possible to grow one of the biggest brands now at Mattel. So can't leave without another Barbie movie. But to close, there's so many analogies of this journey of Mattel Creations that reference the Barbie movie. I think it's really about being inspiring, challenging what's possible, using the partnership of your friends. But really, at its core, it's about inspiring and innovation. So I'm super excited to have opened the OMR conference. Hopefully, some of the content that I shared was both inspiring, this focus on innovation. Mattel is an 80-year-old company. The fact that we were able to push and innovate in a new way and scale so rapidly just shows you the power of what truly can be possible with a focus on the consumer and questioning and pushing to really innovate and challenge what's possible. So I'm super excited to create what's next at Mattel Creations, and thank you all for the time today.